have the opportunity to cultivate a sense of belonging for our students by understanding their challenges and to help them to overcome those challenges.
That's part of that sense of belonging that I think the college really does a good job at is really just meeting students where they are and allowing opportunities for anybody that comes in with any experience.
It's really important because when we talk about belonging, for us, we wear a uniform. So for us to make students feel comfortable, faculty and staff as well, we have to be engaging, we have to be welcoming, approachable.
We need to make sure that we listen to the stories of others, because through those stories we can learn what they've been through, we can learn about their challenges, and we can help each other when we all face various types of challenges.
It's not that you're just here, it's where you're coming from and how we can support each other with that. And when you make it like peer role modeling, they just feel embraced.
People are not always comfortable interacting in certain ways. Some people don't like public speaking. Some people don't really like engaging with people. They're more private. So it's kind of like trying to figure out how to adapt, but I do try to share that with my officers to kind of pass that along.
Encourage everyone to share their honest opinions. We should not judge them, but we can discuss them.
I feel respected. I feel like people want to hear what I have to say. And I feel that, as long as, that is the circumstance, that, it will create that environment that allows everyone to be successful.
When I look back, it started in the beginning when I started as counseling faculty. Really, the other counselors were mentors to me. They really cared about mentoring me, helping me with my teaching. They let me shadow their classes. They really, really cared about my personal development.
A person comes to you, community members or any student comes to you, then there is a difficulty of understanding their language also. When you are talking to them in their language, which I speak at least 3 languages, that is very important, and it will make the communication very easy, and they will come again and again, and they will even refer other students to you.
Because of the welcomeness and the opportunities I've been given at the college, it impacts, the way that I handle myself daily at the college.
You have that sense of the inclusion, that I'm not alone, but I'm still being embraced from where I came from, and I'm part of this family. Like, it's a beautiful thing.
One thing we do, we take cultural competency. So that's like a class that we're all taking, which basically gets you to kind of understand how each culture differs. So we do that, and one thing I have the officers do, we got one officer that's Ethiopian, one from Jamaica. They actually tell us about their culture, some of the things that they experience, the little differences, and we sort of share that with each other to kind of help have a better understanding of each other.
More than anything, it's the students that keep me going. I find my students to be incredibly respectful. I'm so appreciative of the smallest thing that you do. You get a note thanking you. I have actually put a book together, like a scrapbook together of all of the notes that I've gotten from students over the 17 years. And if I'm ever down in the dumps, I read those notes and I feel great. So they really help you. The more they say to you, the more you want to do.
I love Montgomery College. I really do. I love my job. I love my students, and I have a really good sense of belonging.
I don't think any faculty member wants their students to come not succeed and go out in life and still not succeed. So it's all about making sure that faculty, staff, students, everybody feel like their place here matters, is relevant.
morning. Yes, much better. Good morning, everyone. My name is Mohammed Kanamoui, and I'm the interim vice president and provost of the Germantown campus and the college-wide STEM unit. Welcome to the 23-24 academic year closing meeting. Let's do it. Can you believe we are closing yet another academic year already? This morning, we have the privilege of celebrating our many accomplishments, the exceptional work of our colleagues, and the magnificent feats achieved by teams of employees working together. It is at this point in the year that the adrenaline starts to kick in as the finish line is in sight, but much remains to be done. I believe today's event, filled with high-five moments and plenty of reason to celebrate, will override our exhaustion with exhilaration and provide enough spring in our step to make it to the ultimate celebration, our 2024 commencement ceremony. Before we get to the awards presentation, I would like to recognize and thank those who work so diligently to make sure this event occurs and runs smoothly every year. To Dr. Clivet Ridgard and the planning committee, to Elizabeth Thomas and Stacy Miller with special events, to MCTV, to our media resource and IT specialist, to the Germantown facilities team, and our 24/7, 365 public safety officers for their assistance today and every day. On Friday, we will celebrate the success of our students as they proudly cross the stage to receive their well-deserved recognition. But today, we take a moment to highlight the extraordinary work being done across the college to ensure access, completion, and post-completion success for all MC students. Thank you for your commitment to our students and their success. Together, we are making a difference in the lives of our students and their families. And that is certainly cause for celebration. So why not? Let's give ourselves a hand. It is now my pleasure to welcome to the podium Montgomery College's president, Dr. Jermaine Williams.
Thank you. Wow. Thank you, Dr. Kennedy. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? All right. Fantastic celebration season. It's great to see everyone. This year's award winners, past year award winners, everyone else is here. It's a fantastic opportunity. It's been, as you heard, an absolute wonderful year. We have opened the East County Education Center. Yeah, right? With our wonderful partners, our faculty, staff, and students, and that was an absolutely terrific event. This accomplishment was many years in the making and was due to the hard work of so many people in this room, our faculty, our staff, and our external partners. So it's just a fantastic opportunity. The ECEC, as many of you know, is already accessing impact in powerful ways, or creating impact in powerful ways. And as we look at that as just kind of launching us, another big accomplishment this year is another new space. Another new space that will improve access for our students is the Hughes Network Manufacturing Facility on the Germantown campus, right? And this is, yes, please. And this is another great triumph that was years in the making. So by offering students new opportunities in the form of internships, mentors already in the field, and even employment, it is a powerful asset when we think about completion and even post-completion success. So this ribbon cutting was another event that showed how much partnerships matter in achieving steps that advance our transformational aspirations, as we know of access and completion and post-completion success. And when we reflect on those, it's where we are right now at spring closing each year, which presents just such a wonderful opportunity to share some fantastic reminders about why we are here, why we do what we do, and some of the impact that has been made, right? There's not enough time to actually celebrate all of the impact, but some of the impact that has been made. And when we think about that, let's start off by reflecting with our students, right? 6 MC students were honored at the Phi Theta Kappa Awards banquet just 2 weeks ago, right? Yes. So the awards celebrated their outstanding intellectual achievement, leadership, and community service. For many of them, honors programs, experiential learning, and leadership roles have nourished their goals. They have certainly provided them with experiences of economic, social, and community impact. And I had the honor, and it was an absolute honor, of introducing each of them and their exceptional talents. One of those individuals, Malika Mason, was selected for the 2024 All-USA Academic Team. One of only 20 students nationwide to be selected on that team. She was also the recipient of a New Century Transfer Scholarship, which is a very competitive award and will allow her to take the next steps towards post-completion success. I know many of you in the room have either met her, have helped her, and you know that she's just an awesome, awesome individual. When we think about what we're working towards, and we're working towards those aspirations we've designed for our institution, right? And this is the result of the hard work of the faculty and staff. You look around, the individuals in this room, the individuals who are watching, the individuals who could not make it today, who are so intentional about creating experiences, as I mentioned, of not only economic impact, but social and community impact. Your dedication to that holistic student development is so powerful. People like Professor Heather Bruce Satcham, right? Yes. Who was awarded, right, the National Faculty Innovation Award from the American Association of Community Colleges, AACC. Her work on her sabbatical project on oral history opened a door to deeper understanding and belonging for our immigrant and refugee students, right? Entitled History in the Making, Documenting Stories of Immigrant and Refugee Students at Montgomery College, right? Relies on the healing power of storytelling to build community among non-native speakers of English, right? This project also builds belonging, which we have identified as one of our strategic plan goals, right? And when we think about, the power of belonging, there was actually an article inside Higher Ed this morning. Probably many of you saw it as you were getting ready, or you'll see it later that talks about belonging. But when we think about belonging, I want to express my appreciation for the work of the college's Hispanic Serving Institution Task Force. And I saw some of the members here. We should give them a round of applause. The HSI Task Force. It has completed a comprehensive report on the opportunities and challenges of the college and made some excellent recommendations, which will be officially announced very soon. I am grateful, as I see members in the audience, truly grateful for their expertise and dedication to addressing equity gaps and simultaneously supporting all students. So thank you so very much. And when I think about dedication to addressing equity gaps, it takes many forms. And sometimes it takes forms of training and professional development. And when I think about that, the experience that Dr. Glenda Hernandez-Tittle and Ms. Yanira Rodriguez recently completed the Hispanic Association of Colleges and Universities 6-month training called Enlace. This is a very new program, the Enlace program that these two individuals went through. And it's a leadership program designed to advocate for Latino, Latina talent in leadership positions at Hispanic serving institutions. Let's give them a round of applause. So they have returned to share their learning around student success and around addressing equity gaps. And let's leave that up because I know people are taking a picture of that slide. So leave it up. All right, let me know when you're done. All right, it's a community event. We got to make sure we're all getting the things we need. So again, just embracing in that, and I know we look forward to benefiting from their learning and to making our institution even more accessible and more equitable to students who we serve currently and the residents who we seek to serve. Another outstanding faculty member focused on student success is Professor Rebecca Portis of the English and Reading Department. Yeah. Who has a special award to celebrate this year. She won, as you see, a Fulbright Hayes Award to South Africa, right? Yes, yes, yes. Please, yes. Go around, like, her work is situated at the nexus of history, environmental justice, and social equity. When I think about those three things, I just can't wait to hear about this terrific cultural and scholarly experience and what Professor Rebecca Portis is going to actually bring back to the college. I can only imagine it's going to be completely impactful. And speaking of scholarship, when we think about that, I'd be remiss if I didn't uplift 3 different teams of faculty and administrators who won grants this year from the National Science Foundation, totaling $3.24 million. Their projects spanned adapting curricula industry needs, providing professional development for faculty, and preparing students more fully to enter the workforce, right? Each one of these projects is contributing to access, completion, and post-completion success. Speaking of which, when we think about that continuum, ACES celebrated 10-year anniversary today. Let's give it up for ACES program. I'm not being electrocuted right there. I'm an energetic person, and that's just how it comes out. I co-signed on that picture. So but as we know, achieving collegiate excellence and success starts out as access and as completion as students advance at the college, right? It was touching to see, as you see right there, former county council member Mr. Craig Rice returned to deliver the keynote to this year's graduating class, which is just very fitting. While I was not around for the inception of ACES, I do know what a powerful role he played in the origin and the effort to establish the program and expand the program beyond the original school. So it was great to have Mr. Rice there for that ceremony. So over a decade, right? 10 years of ACES. More than 1,000 ACES students have transferred from Montgomery College to a 4-year institution, right? Yes, please. And this is just one form of post-completion success, right? More than 200 students are graduating this year, with 123 officially transferring so far, right? What a great impact. ACES is one of the many programs at the college that creates access by building a college-going culture in the younger years, right? We've all seen this. We've experienced this, building a college-going culture and the importance. We uplifted this so it's part of actually our strategic plan, our transformational aspirations, right? Children who are exposed to college early, they begin to plan for it, right? All year long, K-12 students visit our facilities, which has that precise impact to build a college-going culture, right? Dozens of experiential learning offerings at the college build interest in our people and our academics. Right? Experiences like the Maryland Collegiate STEM Conference event this year that brought more than 450 STEM faculty, staff, and students from all 16 Maryland community colleges to the Rockville campus to showcase their exceptional work with vibrant poster presentations. More than 450 individuals. Right? Experiences like Rockville Science Day is another example of an event that draws prospective students, including more than 115 exhibits, 3,500 visitors to our campus, many entire families for an afternoon of fun and learning. More than 3,500 people, right, at one of our campuses for one afternoon. Think about the powerful, the impact of that. The Boy Scouts of National Capital Area had a similar impact with almost 200 scouts and staff volunteers as they earned merit badges, right? With dozens of faculty and staff volunteers, it was an absolute terrific day. This event could not be stopped. For those of you who remember, there was some weather that was happening, bad weather that was happening, lots of plans and shift, things on the fly, but it would not be stopped. This event continued, and it was fantastic, right? Yet another example is the MCPS Cyber Competition, which brought more than 300 students from 23 local high schools to our events, right? Events of this kind help build access and create a college-going culture in our community, drawing in new students, right? And not just, younger new students. Think about individuals who want to, make a career change, people who want to upskill, people who want to reskill, and they get access to the resources that are provided by the individuals in this room and beyond, and the awesome facilities that we have, right? These experiences also, they enhance our connections with the community. We should all be proud of the efforts and dedication that go into such events, and our next step at ensuring, right, impactful programs and initiatives at scale that impact all students, right? We're impacting hundreds and thousands of students and community members, and that next step of taking that to scale, right? Our 40+ thousand students having these types of experiences. The college connects, obviously, with the community by bringing community members to our facilities, as well with performances and speakers on topics of civic importance. Three, I'm looking at you, Dr. Kanamui, 3 Nobel Prize winners in physics came this year alone. That does deserve a round of applause. Can we please? Yeah. Maryland Congressman Jamie Raskin visited twice, once for a Fulbright discussion and a second time to share a talk about the events of January 6, 2021. He shared the stage with police officer Aquilino Ganell, who, like Raskin, was president on the Capitol on January 6, 2021. Events like these are truly experiences of social and community impact. And as we increase civic engagement, right, and think about all those things that we do, the ballot drop boxes on each of our campuses will undoubtedly draw community members and hopefully increase voting among our students, our faculty, and our staff. Yes. I mean, we think about so much that's going on in our community and our society. Providing easy access to these boxes to everyone can more readily exercise their right to vote, right? Their civic opportunity, their civic responsibility, right? I want to give a shout out, here it comes, to MC Votes for all of their work in that space, right? Yeah, I see some MC Votes folks. Civic engagement and voting are 2 pillars of democracy that are alive at this college. Right? In addition to drawing people to our spaces, our students and faculty go out into the community to do service and engage in experiential learning. For example, Dr. Nathan Zook, professor of political science and international relations, traveled with 20 students from his Politics in Action class and the International Studies program to New York City for the National Model United Nations Conference. Right? Yeah. These student delegates, they spent a week there representing North Korea and the Lao People's Democratic Republic, engaging with other delegates from colleges across the globe, right? How awesome was that experience? And another trip to the community beyond MC 10 MC students with 2 MC faculty and staff spent their alternative spring break week volunteering with Habitat for Humanity of Berkeley County in South Carolina, right? These students, they ran their own crowdsourcing fundraiser, which topped the goal of $2,500 towards the cost of the trip. I think even more inspiring, perhaps, is that there was a student who participated in an alternative spring break earlier, actually last year, who donated back to support this year's group. It's, yeah, I mean, and yet another group of students pushed their limits by traveling to the United Kingdom, right? 20 MC students studied abroad in the UK as well. I could spend, I know we could spend hours reviewing the accomplishments of our students. Trips like these enrich student learning by allowing students to engage actively, learning from applying their skills and growing new ones. Such experiences are powerful teachers and can deepen students' ambition for completion. They set the stage and they illustrate the importance of ensuring all students have an experiential learning opportunity. Right? And when we think about that opportunity is created and often enhanced by philanthropic support of post-secondary education. I want to take a minute, just a minute, to remember those who support the college generously, former and current faculty and staff among them. You may have heard that a well-beloved retired MC faculty member, Charles Holland, made an extraordinary gift to the college recently. He left his entire retirement savings. Yeah. His entire retirement savings, valued at about $500,000, left to the college. It's fantastic. I mean, Professor Holland, he unfortunately passed away last month, but having taught at Montgomery College for 30 years, 3 decades of his life dedicated to Montgomery College. His message, I'm going to read this slow. Everyone knows I talk fast. I get excited. Our work excites me. I quote, "Someone helped me along the way, so I feel that I should help others. I want to ensure that others have access to these same opportunities." Yeah. Such a succinct and powerful message. This is a testament to the belonging that one faculty member felt towards the college and the commitment that he felt for our students and our mission. Right? Philanthropy also supported by our innovation grants this year, creating access and strengthening completion. These grant winners this year are focusing on more peer-to-peer mentoring, additional nursing support, enhancing the STAR network, and experiential learning in archaeology and museum education. And these topics, they grew out of your insights. They grew out of the insights from faculty and staff about where we can serve students better and make pedagogy even more innovative. Right? I am confident that these experiences will be assessed to identify how they impact transformation at scale. And whenever I talk about our transformational aspirations, it's focused on our shared commitment, right? Because they are our aspirations, our shared commitment to be student-centered, to be data-informed, to be equity-focused. And faculty and staff, you are obviously behind this commitment to be student-centered, to be data-informed, to be equity-focused, right? I see that. We all see that drives our faculty and staff. Belonging to a community where all work makes our organization more effective. So I want to acknowledge just a couple ways that we create such belonging. Right? The part-time faculty conference is one way, for example. Right? It helps instructors to support each other and find the support they need from the college. MC's Rising Professionals Association is also a wonderful group that empowers its members to write their own career stories to advance themselves by bright professional futures. Right? They collectively seek out opportunities to learn and grow as individuals and rising professionals. I mention this because not only does this group have a terrific spirit, They, in fact, were the ones who supplied photos of a very, very special wedding that took place just this past year of two MC staff members who met at the college. Yeah, Danielle Stesky and Arkar Kayawin, both of whom work for MCTV. Shout out to MCTV. Danielle, how you doing? They were married in the fall in the U.S. and then in Brazil, and many of their colleagues joined in the celebration. How enjoyable does that look? Oh, it was awesome. That's fantastic. As I mentioned that, and I said shout out to MC, I would also like to congratulate our MCTV. I'd like to congratulate MCTV on some amazing awards this year. MCTV usually receives multiple awards, but the Montgomery College TV staff was recognized with 13 communicator awards this year, including 2 awards of excellence and 11 awards of distinction. Let's give them a round of applause. And MCTV students earned an award of distinction for their video series from the 2023 Smithsonian Folk Life. I've gotten to know some of our MCTV students well. They are supremely awesome. I can't see if they're here right now, but they are fantastic as well. Clearly, MC faculty and staff are having an impact, right? And we didn't need to have this event for you to know that. But we are uplifting some phenomenal components of impact today. I'm so deeply excited as we continue our journey to ensure we have programs and initiatives at scale that impact all students. And that is an endeavor I'm confident that we're up to. And I just want to take a moment, because I'm closing out, and while I have uplifted and we will uplift certain experiences, I know that impact is happening every day inside and outside of the classroom. I know that faculty members who are in the classroom, virtual or physical, counselors who teach and advise, our public safety officers, our financial aid counselors. Impact is happening. And I want to take a moment to just uplift everyone who helps to create impact, because this is a few moments to uplift and amplify some of the impact, but we all know that we could spend probably days and weeks sharing large and small stories about what everyone does. So we can just give a round of applause for the community as a whole. I would appreciate that. And as I kind of come to a close, I want to share as we progress towards Friday, as you heard from Dr. Kanamui, we have a lot to celebrate this year, and that's obvious, with more than 1,100 students registered to graduate, right? We expect to distribute more than 3,000 certificates and degrees in just 2 days, right? These are outcomes of which we should all be proud, right? Those degrees and certificates represent 118 countries. 118 countries. And I know that these are outcomes that we are not only should be proud of, but that we are proud of. They are moving us towards greater access, greater completion, and greater post-completion success. These victories, they belong to us, and we should embrace that, right? As well as to the students who have discovered their passions and unlocked their potential, right? To transform lives, enrich the community, and change the world. We all know that. That is our mission statement. Right? What an honor it is to serve that mission with all of you. Together, we can create the change that we seek. Right? Now, while I will come back to present some awards, I want to take my last few words right now in this formal address to wish everybody a happy summer. I hope you have an enjoyable summer. You all, yeah. I mean, everybody works so hard, right? You dedicate so much of yourself. So I hope you have a wonderful summer. As always, you've heard me say, find your place of peace. If you've already found it, visit it as frequently as you need to. I don't know if that's hanging out with your spouse, your children, your books, your pets, your garden. It doesn't matter what it is. Find that place of peace and visit it so that you can get re-energized. Visit it so that you can recharge. Take care of yourselves. You dedicate so much to our students and to each other. Please remember to take care of yourselves. Thank you for your incredible contributions. It is a pleasure to serve, an absolute pleasure to serve with so many people who are dedicated to ensuring that the Montgomery College experience actually lends itself and works towards creating social transformation. Right? So thank you all so very, very much. All right. Now, who's ready for a treat? All right. Look under your seats. Everybody had. No, I'm joking. That's it's not that kind. It's not that kind of party. Maybe next year. Maybe next year. But we do have a treat for everybody. It is going to be phenomenal. It is one of our students. One of our students, Melanie Aboya, this year's MC's Got Talent winner, who will perform a song for us. She is a performing arts major and just completed her second year at Montgomery College. Her goal is to become a professional performer. Melanie says, and I quote, "I've learned and improved upon my craft during my time at MC. I'm very grateful for all the opportunities that Montgomery College has generously given me. I am also performing in MC Summer Dinner Theaters in the Heights production this summer." End quote. How you like that advertisement, like at the end? So make sure you get your tickets, right? Because Melanie will be there. Let's give it up for Melanie. Where are you? Yes.
Somewhere over the rainbow, way up high, there's a land that I heard of once in a lullaby. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dream of once really do come true. Ooh, one day I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops way above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere over the rainbow, bluebirds fly, and the dreams that you dare to dream, why, oh, why can't I?
What an outstanding talent. Thank you, Melanie. Good morning and welcome, everyone. As the recently re-elected College Council Chair for one more year, I look forward to serving in the capacity along with my Vice Chair, Paul Miller, and my Secretary, Talandra Ryan. We made it through another year. This academic year, we faced many challenges that were brought to our doorstep. Given these challenges, we learned to respect and have grace for one another, while also understanding how to navigate all the things the world has to offer. Our faculty, staff, and administrators have worked diligently to make our students feel safe and welcome within our college environment. I want to thank the 23-24 outgoing governance councils and welcome the members of the incoming councils. Words can express our gratitude and appreciation for the commitment to governance, our institution, and our constituents. As the slides advance, you will see the names of the outgoing council members. As the chair of the College Council, I have learned so much about our institution, how it works, and all the great things this college has accomplished. There are also many initiatives that have brought significant change and growth for our students. Each area of the college plays a significant role in making the college experience better for our students. At the beginning of the fall semester, because I'm here on the Germantown campus, I could look out my window in the early hours of the day and I see students being assisted by our grounds workers and some of our facility employees. The students were very thankful and were able to get where they needed to be because of their assistance. I mention this because oftentimes our facilities and ground crews sometimes seem invisible. And some of the things they often do go unnoticed, but it's very much appreciated. The 23-24 theme for the College Council was cultivating connections across the college community to empower everyone's voice. The 13 councils worked very hard to incorporate this theme and a sense of belonging for everyone at the college. Welcome to the 24-25 governance members. You'll see on the slides, their names will be the individual slides of the new council members. The councils had very meaningful goals this year. We were able to either partner or collaborate with many of the areas of the college, such as the Truth and Racial Healing and Transformational Center, holding racial healing circles, the Shaw Center, Student Government Association, Equity and Inclusion, Policy and Procedures, and many more. Many of the councils adopted several of the mobile markets and volunteered throughout the year and also held food drives to support the food pantry for the students. Governance also continued to work with faculty and student life during the mental health awareness fairs on various campuses, both in the fall and the spring semester. A huge expression of gratitude goes to the subcommittee of the Staff Council for a successful Staff Enrichment Day, with the attendance exceeding over 500 people. Governance and various student groups also worked with auxiliary services and METS to help improve the overall food quality and services to obtain more vending machines as well as healthier and affordable food options for the college. This year, governance also sent 2 recommendations to the president for approval. The first one was related to the use of artificial intelligence guidelines for the classroom, and the second was the written communication of flexible work arrangements for the division and departments. These recommendations are now implemented into the AI guidelines for faculty use and part of the college's telework policy. In addition, we produced a governance digest for the fall and spring semesters. As you can see, governance has been working really hard this year to make sure everyone's voice is heard. As I welcome our new 24-25 governance members, I am excited and look forward to working with each of you the academic year. Let's continue to build upon what great work and stay engaged and bring your passion and interest and ideas to governance. We welcome you all to our council meetings, and you can see our governance schedule on the governance website. Finally, thank you to the MC community, faculty, staff, and administrators, because you are all why students succeed. I would like to thank all of the counselors for their hard work and dedications to governance and the college community. Without you, we would not have been able to accomplish all that we have this year. To those of you that are leaving governance, I thank you and appreciate all the hard work you've done this year. And now, I would like to welcome Dr. Stephen Kane to the stage.
Good morning. Team Effort Awards are given to recognize the exceptional contributions of teams collaborating for the good of the college community. The awards recognize the skills and accomplishments of individuals who shared the responsibilities, completed tasks, and collaborated to achieve specific goals which are beyond the scope of the unit's regular duties and responsibilities. This year, I'm announcing 17 Team Effort Awards. I'll be here a couple hours. As an award appears on the screen and you see your name, if you are able, I invite you to stand and be recognized. In addition to the recognition and gratitude that we express here today, each person will receive a certificate signed by the president. Those will be sent to the award nominator for distribution. The first award is for the East County Education Center Launch Task Force. This group was tasked with the coordination and planning for a successful launch of the East County Education Center, or ECEC. The ECEC is the first phase of establishing a presence in the East County. It's the first center of its kind for MC, offering credit and non-credit courses, Raptor Central, and space for WorkSource Montgomery, among other supports that will help guide students and residents with a welcoming, inclusive approach to all. The ECEC began operations on April 1st, and a ribbon cutting was held on April 20th. Congratulations, and please join me in thanking this team. Related to that, the next award is for the East County Education Center Raptor Central Intake Hub Training and Support Services. A key part of ECEC operations is the Raptor Central Intake Hub that welcomes students and community members to help them learn about what Montgomery College has to offer. In standing up the newest branch of Raptor Central at the ECEC, this interdepartmental team and pioneers collaborated to make it happen. These employees engaged in training to ensure our East County Raptors and prospective Raptors encounter knowledgeable staff who will ensure that they feel welcomed, encouraged, and supported. Congratulations, and join me in welcoming and thanking this team. Our next award is for the 2024 Equity Week. Programming during the spring 2024 Equity Week helped individuals develop and apply personal and professional practices that build an inclusive environment, equitable student success rates, and employee career growth and fulfillment. This team went above and beyond, developing and producing a robust Equity Week. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. Our next award is for the team that led the work on the Facilities Master Plan. The Facilities Master Plan Core Committee worked together to manage the undertaking of the college's Facilities Master Plan for 2023 to 2033. The college's Facilities Master Plans anticipate the future facilities needs of the college. It is approved by the Board of Trustees and submitted to the state. The plan, or FMP, is important because any project for which we seek state or county funding must be included in this document. The FMP takes into consideration multiple data points, such as enrollment projections, facilities condition assessment, space utilization, and projected future academic programs when projecting future capital improvement projects. Over the next 10 years, enrollment headcount is anticipated to increase by 30%, and the FMP provides a roadmap to ensuring that the college can meet the needs of the student population. This committee was instrumental in conducting information sessions with the college community, which shaped the FMP. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. The next award is for the Health Sciences Mass Casualty Incident Drill Team. The Health Sciences Mass Casualty Incident Drill was a collaboration across the health sciences disciplines with over 150 students, faculty, and community volunteers participating. For this event, the Health Sciences building was transformed into the Montgomery College Hospital, and students were able to experience a realistic environment and care for a variety of patients who were victims of a supposed train derailment. Patients were transported by volunteers from the Rockville Volunteer Fire Department. Volunteers from around the college and community played the roles of patients and provided support for the event. The planning committee prepared for this undertaking over the entire academic year. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. Our next award is for the Hispanic Serving Institution Task Force. After the college's designation as a Hispanic Serving Institution, or HSI, Dr. Williams appointed a task force which developed a detailed report focused on the experience of Hispanic students at Montgomery College. The task force researched student success, reviewed college support structures, met with community members and nonprofits, and investigated grant funding opportunities. With a focus on the S in HSI, servingness, the task force's report provides recommendations and directions for the future. And I have seen many posters around out in the halls with QR codes you can scan to see the report. Felicidades, and join me in thanking this team. Our next award is for the HR STEM Finance Team. The short-staffed HR Finance office teamed up. Despite heavy workloads, benefits HR Finance and help desk colleagues tackle critical tasks like complex insurance billing for 1,000 retirees, EAP tuition waiver requests, and more. They collaborated brilliantly, sharing responsibilities, streamlining processes, and exceeded expectations for both internal and external stakeholders. Congratulations, and let's join me in thanking this team. Our next award goes to the team that organized the Latin Asian Fusion event last fall, celebrating our dual designation as a Hispanic Serving Institution, HSI, and an Asian American, Native American, Pacific Islander Serving Institution, AANAPISI, or ANAPISI for short. This team created a Celebrating Community Belonging and Partnerships event. Over 250 attendees immersed themselves in a vibrant display of Latin and Asian cultures through music, food, crafts, entertainment. Local business leaders shared their entrepreneurial journeys in a panel discussion, fostering a spirit of collaboration. This collaboration aligns with the college's goals of access completion and post-completion success. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. Our next award is for the team that made the Merit Badge University happen. On Saturday, February 17th, Montgomery College partnered with the National Capital Area Council, the Boy Scouts of America, to hold a Merit Badge University for nearly 200 scouts of all genders, ages 10 to 18, from Maryland to District of Columbia and Virginia. 46 faculty, staff, and administrators volunteered as Merit Badge counselors and Merit Badge assistants, or otherwise supported the event. We were able to offer 15 Merit Badges on the Rockville campus thanks to this dedicated team. Volunteers participated in BSA Merit Badge and Youth Protection and MC Youth Protection training. With an unexpected snow that morning, the team pivoted to an afternoon-only event. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. Our next award goes to the team that organized the Nobel Laureate Speaker Series. This series brought 3 Nobel-winning scientists to the Germantown campus to speak to students, employees, and community members who had the honor and privilege of hearing from and asking questions of these noted individuals. MCTV recorded the sessions and made them available on YouTube for a broader community to view. Partners such as Gaithersburg Germantown Chamber of Commerce, the Upcounty Regional Services Center, and our MC Communications team helped advertise the event. STEM ambassadors assisted with ushering for each presentation. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. Our next award goes to the team that worked on the National Model United Nations Conference. Employees from the humanities area supported 20 students from a politics and action class in the International Studies program on a trip to New York City for the National Model United Nations Conference. MC student delegates represented North Korea and the Lao People's Democratic Republic in negotiations with delegates from colleges across the globe. Before the trip, students learned about diplomatic negotiations, position papers, and formal draft resolutions. And on the final day, they met with the President of the United Nations General Assembly at the UN headquarters. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. Our next award goes to the Public Safety Honor Guard Unit. Last fall, officers in public safety volunteered outside of their regular duties to attend a formal honor guard training through the Easton, Maryland Police Department. These officers were tasked with establishing and operationalizing a cohesive team to deliver formal ceremonial duties such as presenting colors at public safety and Montgomery College functions. You will see the unit providing the honor guard and color posting at commencement this Friday. We can take pride in knowing that Montgomery College has a solid and exemplary team of individuals that will perform this excellent service with the utmost professionalism. Congratulations, and join me in saluting this team. The next award goes for this year's Scholarship Luncheon. Scholarship donors play a pivotal role in ensuring students have access to a Montgomery College education. The annual Scholarship Luncheon recognizes and celebrates the impact of this special group of community members. At the event, donors are reminded how their support is helping to advance the mission of the college, one student at a time. This event is a major undertaking and requires the time, effort, and coordination of this dedicated team. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. Our next award goes to the Staff Enrichment Day Committee. Staff Enrichment Day fosters professional development, collaboration, and innovation among our staff. Through workshops, seminars, and team-building activities, employees gain new skills, insights, and perspectives. As a result, MC becomes a more dynamic institution, better equipped to meet the diverse needs of its students and the community, ultimately contributing to enhanced student success and community engagement. Staff Enrichment Day is a prime example of fostering a sense of belonging for MC staff. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. The next award goes to the team that led the transition to Blackboard Learn Ultra. The transition to Blackboard Learn Ultra allows faculty and students to have access to a more user-friendly Blackboard interface, along with new features that improve the teaching and learning process. The upgrade focuses on increased usability, efficiency, and accessibility. This more mobile-friendly interface features AI tools, advanced analytics, and enhanced communication tools. And this 18-month transition started this semester and is already making considerable progress. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. Our next award goes to the team that put on the Workforce Development and Continuing Education Harvest Fest. Harvest Fest was a promotional event put on by WDCE and held at the Manakee Building last October. It drew over 400 community members, giving them an opportunity to connect with WDCE staff and faculty and hear about a wide array of non-credit offerings. From personal development to professional development, the event fostered an interactive and informative experience for all. WDCE staff worked closely and coordinated with other college departments such as the Office of Communications, Public Safety, Office of Facilities, and Office of Community Engagement. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. And I got it in under 2 hours because I talked very fast today. Our final award goes to the team responsible for the Writing, Reading, and Language Center Macklin Tower Welcoming Spaces Project. Through the Welcoming Spaces Project, learning centers are creating inclusive environments for students. The WRLC in Macklin Tower stands out as the team transformed their space and marketing practices. Students study on beanbags, rugs, as well as at tables and computer stations. The center has twinkle lights, soft music, and a coloring wall. Despite challenges such as construction projects restricting access to the building's entrance, the team collaborated with facilities, contractors, and library staff to provide access for students. More than 100 students a day continue to find solace and access to the college in this welcoming space. Congratulations, and join me in thanking this team. And let me offer a final congratulations to all our recipients of Team Effort Awards this year. Thank you for all that you do. It's now my pleasure to introduce Interim Chief Equity and Inclusion Officer, Kimberly Jones.
Good morning. Oh, come on. Good morning. All right, my name is Kimberly Jones. I am the Interim Chief Equity and Inclusion Officer here at MC. On Wednesday, April 17th, we had the honor of hosting the Excellence in Equity Award Dinner for students and employees. We were joined by friends and families of the nominees, the recipients, and esteemed guests, including Montgomery College President Dr. Jermaine F. Williams and former MC trustee Dr. Kenneth Hoffman. In 2019, the Office of Equity and Inclusion created the Excellence in Equity Award to recognize and celebrate students, faculty, staff, and administrators who have demonstrated exemplary accomplishments in advancing equity, inclusion, and diversity. This prestigious award is given to employees and students who embody these characteristics in their performance and service. These individuals serve as leaders through their contributions to making Montgomery College and our local communities more inclusive by creating an environment where all individuals are valued and respected. The awards committee had a challenging task in picking the winners from so many worthy nominees. Through the generous donation of Dr. Kenneth Hoffman, a former Montgomery College Board of Trustees member, student awardees received a cash award and a medallion which Trustee Hoffman designed, while faculty, staff, and administrators received a personalized baton which symbolizes the race for equity is ongoing and not completed in a silo. Today we will highlight the employees. Now for our Excellence in Equity Employee Awardees. I would like to ask the following employees to stand to be recognized when your name is called. Please hold your applause until the end as I share information about each employee. Richard Forrest. Richard has served as a LEADS Training and Development Coordinator for over 5 years. He has developed and facilitated several programs serving faculty and staff, including the Global Leadership Cohort and Culture Conscious Business Program. He has served 4 terms in the Presidential Advisory Committee on Equity and Inclusion, also known as PACE, and co-chairs one of the subcommittees focused on teaching and learning. Richard plays an integral part as an ambassador and facilitator for MC's Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation Circles. Thank you, Richard. Dr. Sue Haddad. Dr. Sue Haddad currently serves as the Associate Dean of Student Affairs on the Rockville campus, leading the Behavioral Intervention Team. Dr. Haddad supervises the Student Health and Wellness Center, which focuses on programming that addresses basic needs, food insecurity, and mental health and well-being. Dr. Haddad serves as the project director for the Basic Needs Grant, referred to as the Social Resource Program, through the U.S. Department of Education. Since joining MC, she has served as a Disability Support Services counselor and led the department as the college-wide chair of Disability Support Services. Thank you, Dr. Haddad. Dr. Glenda Hernandez-Tittle. Dr. Hernandez-Tittle is the Senior Director of Teacher Certification in the School of Education at MC. Her experiences include serving as a K-12 educator, specializing in supporting students with disabilities and emerging multi-language learners. She also serves as the chair of the Hispanic Serving Institution Task Force at MC and was instrumental in leading the effort for the Hispanic Heritage Month kickoff celebration and the highly successful Latin Asian Fusion event in the fall of 2023. Dr. Hernandez-Tittle also serves as the liaison for the partnership and collaboration between MC and the Montgomery County Lynching Memorial Project and is an ambassador and facilitator for the Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation Circles. Thank you, Dr. Hernandez-Tittle. Dr. Sylvia Hollis is an associate professor of African and African American history at MC, who teaches a medley of courses in history as well as gender, women, and sexuality studies. Dr. Hollis has served as a PACE member and a discipline fellow for the quantitative reasoning. Dr. Hollis also has extensive experience in public history, working with the Birmingham Civil Rights Institute and the American Alliance of Museums, the National Park, and the Smithsonian. Dr. Hollis couldn't make it today, but we can applaud for her. Thank you very much. Dr. Hua Nguyen. Dr. Nguyen is an associate professor and a chair of the Department of Business Administration and Economics at MC. She's a proud member of the Asian American, Native American, Pacific Islander, ANAP, Planning Group, MC Rising Professionals Association, and PACE. Dr. Nguyen is currently a regional finalist for a White House Fellowship in 2024. So let's put our hands together for Dr. Nguyen. She couldn't make it today. Dr. Maria Sprain. Dr. Maria Sprain also currently serves as a full professor who focuses on engaging students in anthropology. Her current research focuses on oral history, storytelling, immigration, and the Latino culture in the DC area. Last year, she curated a virtual and dynamic exhibit on Montgomery County's history of immigrants. She is currently working with students on a Latino history project for the city of Gaithersburg. Thank you so much, Mr. Sprain. And can we give a round of applause to all of these incredible employees? Please also join me in giving the Excellence and Equity Committee a round of applause for a job exceptionally well. And now I would like to welcome Dr. Michelle Campbell and Joyce Matthews to the podium.
The theme for this year's MC Foundation Innovation Grant is Innovations in Connections, Completion, and Community. It is our belief that each and every one of you here today plays a significant role in the transformation we are working toward. With this in mind, I want to take a moment to acknowledge the generosity of time, talent, and treasure of everyone in this room. Whether you are working directly with students, behind the scenes, or personally supporting our students through your philanthropy, we all play an integral role in their academic and lifelong success. Each year, more than 200 current and former MC employees generously give to the MC Foundation. Your support provides us with the funding needed to provide our students with the scholarship support they need, as well as to provide emergency support for those facing an unexpected bump in the road. The foundation is also able to support another program, one that challenges our talented faculty, staff, and students to think creatively and often outside the box about ways in which we can support student success. That program is our MC Foundation Innovation Grant Fund. This fund is designed to encourage faculty, staff, and students to develop teaching and learning strategies that lead to increased enrollment, retention, and student engagement. The first Innovation Awards were presented in 2017. To date, 32 projects have been funded. Today, we will recognize 4 more winners, bringing that total to 36 Innovation Grant Awards, totaling more than $500,000 in grant funds. Before announcing the 2024 Innovation Grant winners, I want to thank Dr. Rijgaard and members of the MC Foundation Innovation Grant Advisory Committee who graciously accept our difficult charge to review and make recommendations to the President's Advisory Committee, the Cabinet, and the President, who selected the 4 winners out of many thoughtful, informed, and creative submissions we received.
We're delighted to announce this year's winners, and when your name is called, please come on down. We're going to give you the award and snap a quick photo. The first award goes to Paul Miller for his project, Enhancing the STAR Network for Future Ready Student Employees. Powered by Elite at Montgomery College. This project has demonstrated success in enhancing student-employee professional development by focusing on critical soft skills required by today's employers. The second award is presented to Carol Jean Holness and Tara Sarabi. Please come on down. Their project is Independent Study in Nursing, a clinical practicum elective. This project will improve program completion and integrate students into community healthcare settings to effectively address workforce needs. Congratulations. The next award goes to Tara Tetro and Gaddis Effendi and Suzanne Johnson for their project, the Dorsey Site in Sugarland, a hands-on archaeology and museum education program. This project will contribute to students' academic success and enrich the community by providing a hands-on learning experience in the Sugarland Ethno-History Project Museum. Congratulations. The final award is presented to Sharon Anthony, Deborah Stewart, Lucas Craven, and Piper Fair. Please come on down for your project. Their project is peer-to-peer mentoring, students creating connections of support across the MC community. As the name suggests, this project is a student-centered mentoring program focused on providing guidance to newly enrolled students, fostering academic success, retention, and completion, while at the same time creating a sense of belonging and engagement in the MC community. Thank you to this year's winners and congratulations. As we finish up, I want to say that the Montgomery College Foundation congratulates you on another successful year. To those who also give back as donors, your support makes a life-changing impact for our students. Thank you for your support. We were able to award hundreds of scholarships this year in addition to food support and emergency assistance. And as a thank you, when we're finished here, we invite all of you to join us for an ice cream social. It's Ben & Jerry's ice cream in the upper lobby outside 216 here in Globe Hall. So aren't you glad you came here today, right? So, and of course, our staff will be there. They'll be happy to answer any questions you have about making donations, the work of the foundation, and the scholarships that we award. Please now please join me in welcoming Mr. Sherwin Collette to the podium, Senior Vice President for Administrative and Fiscal Services.
So leave it up to the foundation's people to bribe you with ice cream as I come to the podium. I understand that there's a poll and pool going. I intend to be here less than time than Dr. Kane, so just bet the under. So I now have the privilege of presenting the NISOD Award winners. The National Institute for Staff and Organizational Development, NISOD, was established in 1991 as a program that promotes and celebrates excellence in teaching, learning, and leadership at community colleges, as well as recognizing extraordinary contributions that our employees make to our students and colleagues. This is especially important as we navigate complex issues and constant change within higher education today at the local, regional, and national levels. Employees are our #1 asset, and your ongoing contributions towards student success is greatly appreciated. As recipients of a Montgomery College Outstanding Faculty Service Award or Outstanding Staff Service Award from the past year, you're receiving broader recognition for your accomplishments from NISOD. So, there I am, okay. Please join me in recognizing our 2024 NISOD Excellence Award recipients on the next 4 slides. Would all NYSOD winners please stand so that you can be recognized? Thank you very much. Now, it is my pleasure to present the Outstanding Staff Awards. Outstanding Staff Awards provide the college community with the opportunity to recognize excellence in a variety of positions at the college and add a special dimension to the awards the college already provides. Award categories for staff include excellence in customer service, innovation, and performance. Would the following persons come to the stage and receive your certificates as I read these details? Please remain for a group picture, and we will take a shot as we go through each category. First category being Outstanding Staff Awards for Excellence in Customer Service. Geraldine Gigi Papiero. Consistently demonstrates exceptional dedication, professionalism, and commitment to customer satisfaction while supporting major programs like Achieving the Promise Academy. Her exemplary customer service skills are evident in her ability to provide compassionate assistance to students, parents, faculty, staff, and administrators, manage responsibilities efficiently, and create a supportive environment. We know Gigi isn't here today, so we'll celebrate her anyway. Meho Shimzu has been an invaluable collaborator in various committees and events, notably the International Education Week, where her dedication and exceptional work as the Staff Council Secretary have been remarkable. Beyond her role in governance, she actively contributes as a member of the Asian American and Native American Pacific Islander Service Institution, ANAPISI, Planning Group, and the ANAPI Planning Committee. Next, we acknowledge Minty Waldemariam. She has a commitment to excellence and adaptability shine through his outreach efforts, providing one-on-one assistance to prospective students in the community and ensuring they are treated respectfully. His partnerships with Montgomery County Public Schools, workshops and college enrollment, campus tours at Rockville and Tacoma Park, Silver Spring, and recruitment efforts for workforce development courses demonstrate his dedication to supporting student success and community engagement. Next, Outstanding Staff Awards for Excellence in Innovation. Would the following persons come to the stage and receive your certificate, and of course, remain for a group picture. First, Dr. Elise Meredith. Accomplishments include implementing and updating scheduling software that transformed student access to tutoring and workshops across campuses. She has demonstrated strong management and dedication to her staff. On a college-wide level, her commitment to a sense of belonging can be seen through serving in the staff council and leadership in MCRPA. Next, Andres Maldonado has countless innovative systems, processes, and procedures to support ACES scholars and his team. He's an engaged and vibrant educator who has utilized exceptional communication and people skills, enabling him to create cultural diversity programming and build relationships with scholars and their families. Next, Outstanding Staff Awards for Excellence in Performance. Would the following persons come to the stage and receive your certificates? Remain for another fabulous group picture. I'm sorry? Oh! I'm sorry? What? Did I forget? Wait. All right. Outstanding Staff Awards for Excellence in Performance. Dr. Atka Chowdhury provides strong leadership and professional development for his team and is particularly effective in changing management and problem solving. He consistently ensures that the most essential lab needs are met even when reduced staff numbers. Outside of the biology department, his dedication is seen through serving as a committee co-chair in PACE, support of WDCE STEM summer programs, and many other efforts. Jeff Zhuang has demonstrated an unwavering commitment to an holistic approach in supporting students and staff. He has worked tirelessly to implement numerous resources for world language disciplines, organized tutoring schedules, and conducted workshops to equip students and his team with valuable tools for academic and professional excellence. Outside of the Learning Center, Jeff has served in multiple capacities, including the Staff Enrichment Day Committee since 2016. Next is Janita Rodriguez. Her dedication can be seen throughout the college. She has organized countless events throughout the county for prospective students while providing strong leadership to everyone with whom she works. She has served as a member of PACE, the Hispanic Heritage Month, and is also intimately involved as an impactful facilitator in the Truth, Racial Healing, and Transformation Campus Center. Next, Beth Toms. Beth's tireless work in launching and sustaining the e-textbook program and working with faculty to increase courses and has provided access to e-textbooks across the college. She has brought national recognition to this program and is committed to accessibility and affordability for student resources. As a result of her dedication, students can access textbooks at no cost with no wait through the library. Bring it home, Colette. Last, we want to acknowledge the person who has been approved for staff and department chair professional development leave. Will this person please stand at your seat as your name is called? Andres Maldonado. ACES Associate Director, Tacoma Park, Silver Spring, Student Affairs. Let's give all of our staff a round of applause. Thank you all for your outstanding work for Montgomery College. It is now my pleasure to welcome Dr. Deidre Price and Dr. Melissa Gregory to the stage.
Montgomery College is fortunate to have so many dedicated, engaged, passionate faculty to support students on their academic pathways. These awards highlight several outstanding representatives of our faculty. Please come forward as your name is mentioned and receive your award. and remain for a group picture. For excellence in service to the college and/or the community awards. Please welcome Dr. Yves Montgomery to the stage. Dr. Montgomery is a professor of English who introduces students to culturally relevant literature and fosters rigorous discussions, deep personal reflection in response to diverse texts, and the study and practice of writing in various genres, including social media. Congratulations, Dr. Montgomery. Next, I'd like to invite Professor Ed Riggs to join us. Professor Riggs is a professor in media. His service to Montgomery College extends well beyond the courses he teaches. Notably, he has served as co-chair for the Guided Pathways, Fields of Study, and Credit for Prior Learning task groups. Congratulations, Professor Riggs. Please also welcome Dr. Esther Schwartz-McKenzie to the stage. Dr. Schwartz-McKenzie is a professor in the Department of English and Reading. A colleague writes, her service reaches deeply into the community. She has served as the Montgomery College liaison to the Victim Assistance and Sexual Assault Program of Montgomery County and volunteered with the 2023 MoCo Pride MCPS Curriculum Committee, as well as with the Human Rights Campaign seeking legislative sponsorship of Every Child Deserves a Family Act. Congratulations, Dr. Schwartz-McKenzie. Our next award is Excellence in Scholarly or Professional Accomplishments for Full-Time Faculty. The awardee is Dr. Laura Anna. Please join us on stage. Dr. Anna is the chair of the chemistry department and teaches a variety of courses, and as an instructor is recognized for her contributions and the ability to connect and engage with students. She has published and has also received several awards and grants for her work in her discipline. One of her key accomplishments is that she started a book club that has made an impact on teaching and learning for faculty in her department. Congratulations, Dr. Anna.
Our next award recognizes excellence in scholarly or professional accomplishments for part-time faculty. Now I'd like to invite Professor Pauline Kelly from the English and Reading Department to join us. Since 1992, Professor Kelly has been an adjunct professor, having taught a wide range of courses, including basic college reading, speech, and English for non-native speakers, in addition to tutoring in the Writing Center. She is an award-winning novelist, with her latest work, The Attractiveness of Wisdom, receiving the Independent Press Award and the Big New York Award in 2022. Congratulations, Professor Kelly. Please welcome Dr. Abdurazak Mohammed from the Mathematics Department to the stage. Dr. Mohammed's commitment to education is impressive, having been a founding faculty member of the Data Science program and contributing to the curriculum with courses in R and Python. Dr. Mohammed's career reflects a harmonious blend of theoretical rigor and practical application, making him a notable figure in his field. Congratulations, Dr. Mohammed. The next awardees are acknowledged for excellence in teaching or counseling academic advising for full-time faculty. Please welcome Professor Sean Fay as he joins us here on stage. Professor Fay is respected by his colleagues and his students for his ability to connect learning in his classroom to practical application in the criminal justice field. Professor Fay brings an authentic retelling of his own experiences working as a police officer and a probation and parole agent into his lessons, which ignites learning by his students. Congratulations, Professor Fay. Next, I'd like to invite Professor Megan Howard to join us. Professor Howard has taught here for 13 years, and during this time, she has positively impacted students, faculty, colleagues, and staff. She has maintained a focus on creating community in her classroom that focuses on social justice, equity, and inclusion, encouraging students to build self-confidence so they feel comfortable being active participants in class and endeavor to become lifelong learners. Congratulations, Professor Howard. It is my pleasure to invite Professor Shelley Jones to join us. Students and colleagues repeatedly describe Professor Jones as kind, welcoming, encouraging, and inspiring. She creates an environment that lends itself to trust with a caring, student-centered approach where students feel accepted, supported, and respected. One of Professor Jones' students shared, she uses compassion when teaching and explaining different grammar lectures, and this helped the students to feel heard and respected. Congratulations, Professor Jones. I'd like to invite Professor Timothy Kirkner to the stage. Professor Kirkner is described as an excellent counselor who has provided notable supports and service to students and colleagues. His students express that he engages them and makes them reflect on their life choices and supports them through their journey of finding what they want to do as a career. Students also highlight Professor Kirkner's support during times of distress related to visa status or mental health needs. These personal stories include descriptors such as empathetic and compassionate. Congratulations, Professor Kirkner. Now I ask Dr. Elizabeth Liz Melanson to join us here. Dr. Melanson is described as a dedicated instructor who cares about her students. She shows this by engaging them and supporting them after class and keeping in touch with them well after the semester is over. She is referred to as an inspirational and enthusiastic about her discipline and being responsible for expanding the course offerings in her department. Congratulations, Dr. Melanson.
Dr. Rabin Muhammad, please join us here on stage. Dr. Muhammad is a professor in the Math, Statistics, and Data Science Department whose teaching goal is to encourage students to think of math as something to be enjoyed and discovered, which is accomplished by creating a fun and engaging classroom environment, improving student mindset, reaching out to the community to bring math to a wide audience, working to meet the needs of diverse and underserved student populations, and collaborating with other educators to continue to develop the best possible teaching methods for his classroom. Congratulations, Dr. Muhammad. Please welcome Professor Tamisha Robinson to the stage. Tamisha Robinson is well known for her transformative teaching and learning practices and for being an impactful counseling faculty member, providing reassurance while also encouraging students' independence in decision making. This is captured in her student statement. She taught me to be independent while still having people to depend on. Congratulations, Professor Robinson. Dr. Stephen Wheatley, please join us on the stage. Students and colleagues repeatedly describe Dr. Wheatley as a warm, welcoming, kind, inspiring, and joyful person in sharing mathematics with a genuine concern for student success. One of Dr. Wheatley's students shared, "Upon entering Professor Wheatley's classroom, my initial worries quickly dissipated. Despite towering over everyone, Professor Wheatley exuded warmth, approachability, and genuine concern for his students' learning. He has also not only transformed my academic experience, but instilled in me a newfound passion for mathematics." Congratulations, Dr. Wheatley.
Please welcome Dr. David Youngberg to the stage. Dr. Youngberg is a professor of economics and also teaches business statistics. He describes his approach to teaching as one where students, energized by curiosity and acceptance, ask questions which foster thoughtful conversations. These conversations form the basis of his approach to teaching because that is where true learning takes place. Congratulations, Dr. Youngberg. Please welcome Professor Richard Nally from Workforce Development and Continuing Education to the stage. Professor Nally has been a faculty member since 1996, and his teaching philosophy reflects his extensive experience and passion for working with a diverse population, particularly through programs like the Graduate Transition Program and Pathways to Success, where he has made significant impacts on the lives of students with intellectual and developmental disabilities. Congratulations, Professor Nally.
I'd like to invite Professor Bernard Ivan Molina Garcia to join us on the stage. Professor Molina Garcia is a distinguished legal professional and academic with a rich background in law, philosophy, and biology. Professor Molina Garcia has made significant contributions to legal literature, including his 2023 publication, Ontological Branding: Power, Privilege, White Supremacy, and a Colorblind World. Professor Molina Garcia's career reflects a commitment to legal excellence and education, with a global perspective and a dedication to social justice. Congratulations, Professor Molina Garcia. Professor Deborah Sterner-Krisman, please join us. Dr. Sterner-Krisman is a distinguished academic with a robust background in molecular virology and biology, serving as an instructor here since 2012. Notably, she led a practical biotechnology research class in collaboration with Virtual Inc., simulating industry work environments for students. Dr. Sterner-Krisman's career is marked by a dedication to education, mentorship, and advancing our understanding of complex biological processes. Congratulations to Dr. Sterner-Krisman, and congratulations to you all. And now it is our pleasure to share the sabbatical awardees for the next academic year. Please stand at your seat when we call your name. Shadi Ahmad, Lucy Derrickson, Timothy McWhirter, Amanda Miller, Jaslyn Marino,
James Murray, Kirsten Newtoff, Atul Roy, Mary Robinson, and Catherine Smith. Congratulations to you all.
Please welcome Dr. Williams back to the stage to present the remaining awards of the day. You got it?
I've come with my own, just like you. All right, let's give our faculty and staff another round of applause. Now I have the privilege of announcing the Administrator Leadership Award to two outstanding administrators. It is, okay, anticipation builds. It is my great pleasure to present the 2024 Administrator Leadership Award for Excellence in leading a college-wide initiative to Ms. Rose Garvin Aquilino and Dr. John Hammond. All right. So, are you going to take the picture now without me? Just going All right, here we go. This February, the college hosted the National Capital Area Boy Scouts of America Merit Badge University. Ms. Rose Garvin Aquilino and her colleagues from the Office of Community Engagement played a pivotal role in identifying the best partners for the event and managing the very detailed logistics. Dr. John Hammond contributed his passion for the world of scouting with his institutional knowledge. The result was a dynamic event that showcased the college and allowed 200 scouts to earn badges in areas such as archaeology, chemistry, fire safety, and public health, among others. Despite the inclement weather and a last-minute change in timing, the scouts were well supported by a team of volunteers from various college divisions, the Office of the President, and community organizations like the Montgomery County Fire and Rescue Services and the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office. Merit Badge University supports Goal 1 of the strategic plan, enhancing connections between Montgomery College and our community, and the access goal of the transformational aspirations, creating a college-going culture. Bringing hundreds of 10 to 18-year-olds to one of our campuses exposes them to our facilities and our faculty, staff, and students, potentially inspiring them to be college goers. Right? Montgomery College's mission and the Scouts' mission, quote, to prepare every eligible youth in America to become a responsible, participating citizen and leader who is guided by the Scout Oath and law. They share some important elements. Civic engagement, community service, and preparation are at the core of those two missions, and bringing them together was an absolute resounding success. This outcome was accomplished due to Dr. Hammond and Ms. Garvin Aquilino's extraordinary leadership and the work of many others at the college. Congratulations to you both. All right. We have obviously such excellent and dedicated administrators, staff, and faculty here at Montgomery College. We're down to our few final awards. And lastly, I'm here to present the awards for the program staff, part-time faculty, and full-time faculty member of the year awards. Everybody here, we should get that around the applause. Staff, part-time faculty, and full-time faculty of the year awards. I'll do better with my inflection to kind of solicit the response and the applause. Everybody wants ice cream. I heard that. It's not going anywhere. It's okay. All right. Please welcome to the stage, back to the stage, Dr. Paul Miller. Dr. Paul Miller is a Professional Development Director in the Office of E-Learning, Innovation, and Teaching Excellence, ELITE. Dr. Miller's unique blend of technical expertise with a deep understanding of pedagogy has created vast professional development opportunities in all areas of the college. Within a month of the release of ChatGPT, Dr. Miller quickly integrated artificial intelligence trainings into professional development programs. One nominator lauded Dr. Miller's significant contribution to professional development for faculty and staff through his rare ability to intertwine creativity with problem solving, all the while pushing boundaries in pursuit of academic excellence. When the Faculty Council was developing guidelines for generative AI use in the classroom, Dr. Miller was eager to contribute his subject matter expertise to a robust, thorough set of guidance. Dr. Miller's leadership style has cultivated an environment where instructional designers and training coordinators work synergistically to produce innovative solutions to professional development challenges. Dr. Miller collaborates extensively across the college to develop programs that drive meaningful change, such as the Journey Towards Becoming an Anti-Racist Institution and the Montgomery College Search Advocate Program. Dr. Miller has been the recipient of several innovation grants, most recently the Student Training and Resource Network, which allows students to participate in unlimited professional development workshops while earning tuition credit. Dr. Miller has worked collaboratively to design programs such as Data and Analytics Training and the Blackboard Analytics Series, and created the Data-Informed Instruction Badge for faculty. Dr. Miller's work provides exceptional value to students, faculty, and staff. He advocates passionately for the integration of effective technology tools into higher education. He is described as a results-oriented partner and has received glowing praise from many units in the college. His knowledge, upbeat demeanor, reliability, and constant commitment are truly worthy of being celebrated. For these reasons, Dr. Miller, and so many more, Dr. Paul Miller is a 2024 Staff Member of the Year. Congratulations, Dr. Miller. Okay. Please welcome to the stage Professor Valerie Tanner. All right. Valerie Tanner is a professor in the Department of World Languages, is an accomplished academic with a strong record in teaching, course development, and leadership. Professor Tanner is described as an all-around innovator, having used open educational resources for her advanced French classes, created Blackboard discussion forums for all levels, and developed a distance learning course for French 102. She also used her Global Humanities Fellowship to create learning models for French 102. Professor Tanner has also been instrumental in developing online and hybrid courses and creating resources that highlight the cultural diversity of Francophone Africa. Her dedication to education is evident in her commitment to student success, innovative teaching strategies, and her ongoing efforts to enhance the academic experience. Many students report that Professor Tanner is, quote, always available to assist them. well after office hours have ended. To make language practice more experiential, she celebrates holidays and events all year, allowing students the opportunity to discuss cultural and social aspects of the Francophone world while practicing the language. Students' affection for Professor Tanner is undeniable. As one wrote, Professor Tanner is a shining example of what I like in a professor. Another notes the joy Professor Tanner showed in helping me and how warm, friendly, and patient she was. In other words, in the words of a third student, her technical skills as a language teacher are first rate. But even more important are the intangibles she brings to the learning environment as an individual and a leader: compassion, kindness, and respect. It is evident that Professor Tanner consistently goes above and beyond what is expected in her position to ensure that every student feels supported and empowered in their academic journey. For those reasons and so many more, Professor Tanner, I am proud to name you the 2024 Part-Time Faculty Member of the Year. Congratulations, Professor Tanner. Please, 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 welcome to the stage, Dr. Katya Salmi. Dr. Katya Salmi is a professor in the Department of Sociology. Dr. Salmi blends robust scholarship, a commitment to professional development, and student-centered approach to teaching and learning. She also brings deep dedication to the principles of equity, inclusion, and social justice in her work, both internally and externally. Dr. Salmi has been a powerful voice for anti-racism at Montgomery College, serving in a variety of leadership roles, including faculty associate in the Office of Equity and Inclusion, as a trainer for the Anti-Racism Badge, and as the co-chair for the Anti-Racism Subcommittee of the President's Advisory Committee on Equity and Inclusion, PACE. Dr. Salmi has also developed and facilitated sessions on racial equity and social justice for the community-informed police training. And I see, all right, give them to him, Pruitt. All right. And co-designed the decolonizing community of practice for students, staff, and faculty. As one of her students describes it, Dr. Salmi creates an environment where I could learn and say what I believed. The classroom was one where students not only could actively participate, but also think critically about sociology and its real-world applications. While enriching her knowledge externally, Dr. Salmi's service to her students and her colleagues is widely celebrated. As one colleague wrote, I am inspired by how Dr. Salmi advocates for students fearlessly, but with compassion, taking on difficult conversations. From a student mentored by Dr. Salmi, quote, when I was having a lot of anxiety about a course, I emailed her in a panic, and she was completely ready to talk things through with me and help me solve the issue. This kind of dedication is something that I admire so much. It makes her one of the faculty members I rely on to guide me through my academic journey. For your leadership, commitment to anti-racism and social justice, and profound commitment to MC students, faculty, and staff, Dr. Katia Salmi is named the 2024 full-time faculty member of the award of the year. Congratulations, Dr. Salmi. Congratulations. All right. Now I welcome back to the stage Interim Vice President and Provost, Dr. Mohammed Kanamui. Please, come on, bring us home.
Congratulations to all the awardees. Thank you all for joining us today in person or virtually. Please see the closing meeting website or the QR code for the rest of today's schedule. I look forward to seeing everyone at commencement on Friday. Have a great rest of your day.